All right, welcome back to another episode of the Gym Business Coach Podcast. I'm your host, Randy Ingston, joined with Zach Columbia.
Yo.
How are we doing today?
In the house.
Yep, we are.
Let's go.
Our fresh new studio. All right, guys, we're going to dive in today. We're going to touch on why confusion, why complexity is kind of the enemy. We really believe that simplicity scales if you're trying to create a tried and true business. It's not always about bringing in more. There's an old saying, I have no idea where it came from, but we've used it quite a bit, that more is not necessarily better, more is more. And I think that there is a belief in this industry where we want to serve everybody. We want to have multiple options, different service types, general access, personal training, maybe we do group training, a little bit of everything, right? But what is it actually doing for your business? And I think that we'll get into it obviously here, but ultimately I do believe that what we're doing is we're creating confusion. We're not giving our clients a path. We're confusing the marketplace and we're making it harder to do business. Zach, we're going to touch on the client's side of things today, right?
Yeah.
Or on this episode, I should say. Why don't you kick us off and just kind of lay the foundation of, why you believe that simplicity is the key to scale when it comes to that.
You know what? It's interesting. So I'll go back to MDM Live that we had here. What was that? 2 months ago? Something like that. It's interesting. We had 15, 17 gym owners in the room, and you start, it's an intimate room. Everybody's honest, opens up. We just ask like, hey, revenue wise, like where do you fall?
Yeah.
Range. The top performing gyms all really do like one or two things max really well. Their businesses are super simple and they're not stuck in this like hustle operator mode.
Yeah, I was going to say both of those gym owners that were at the top were also a step removed.
Yeah. So it's like we have this in our gym and we're like, hey guys, here's what we do. We do semi-private training. We have 200 clients, 5 staff members, 4 coaches, director, 2 membership options, prices. Like it's very simplistic. And the people that are in the upper ends of the revenue are at the same, their businesses look very, very similar fundamentally.
Yeah.
And then you get into the lower end of the revenue. And it's like these guys and gals have multiple service types. They do, large group training. They have youth athletic training. They have one-on-one training. There's some small group, or they call it semi. It's actually small group training. They're dabbling in that. They, do nutrition coaching, but they're revising their nutrition coaching program. It's just all these different pieces. And it's like, okay, there's a clear distinction here. And so I guess the question to ask is like, okay, is complexity the enemy? Does simplicity scale? And if so, then like, let's step back from the business and just trying to like cast a wide net and catch everything. It's like, well, let's get very specific and, know who we are as a business with our identity.
There you go.
Let's go attract that customer and let's, make sure that the experience for that customer is frictionless. And I think that's kind of where we take this conversation is a little bit more tactical is, okay, if you do have that, if your business is very simplistic, then you can map out a pretty clear client journey from the time that you really from an attraction standpoint.
I was going to say, yeah, probably before they
even become a customer. It's like our marketing can speak to, who we are and what we do, who we serve.
Who you serve, yeah.
And then from there, it's like everything is this straight line versus all these different options and paths and things. So yeah, I mean, why don't we just let's just
paint the journey?
Yeah, let's just use the example of somebody's website.
Okay.
Right. I could think of a gym owner that got into the Iron Circle and hadn't done semi-private before. And they were like, hey, we're going to roll out semi-private. And they added it to their website. And they're like, hey, I'm not getting a whole lot of traction here. You remember this?
Oh, yeah.
And we did kind of like I want to say a deep dive, but we didn't even have to do a deep dive. We just had to look at it. And we're like, I can't figure out what it is that you do.
Yeah.
Because you do everything on your website. It's like one page is talking to like a 40 plus with semi-private adult training, and the other one's youth, and then this one's here, and it's all kind of blurred together. I'm like, who are you as a business?
Yeah, it brings up we were talking a little bit, it's more of like a service offering, right? You're an order taker at that point. You're trying to cater to everybody, but you personally or your business doesn't have an identity.
Yeah.
And you don't have like a flag planted on who you serve, how you serve them, and like what you really do well. And right out of the gate, I mean, that level of complexity, if you may, does confuse the marketplace, right? I mean, if we look at somebody walking into a gym, they don't know what they're looking for, right? More often than not. I mean, maybe when it comes to like general access versus training, maybe that's like the level of what they know. They want a personal trainer. Okay, well, what style of training is going to get me the result? And if you've got every option under the sun, how does that person know that you're the right gym for them and that, you speak to them? I mean, I also think that in your marketing, your call outs and knowing your niche and being able to speak to that individual, we don't serve everybody. We don't take just anybody off the street. Can we get them a result? Probably. But is that what our business is known for? What we want to be known for? Or the flag that we planted that creates that term that you use all the time, that 5 mile famous, right? You want to be known for the one thing that you do the best. You can absolutely win with that. And I think from an attraction standpoint, like that has to be what you lead with.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's like we train busy adults over 40, or we train high performing, high achieving professional women. Like whatever it is that you want to do, that's who you should speak to, and it should be very clear when somebody goes to your website or is researching your social media pages. Like, hey, that's who we serve, because thinking creates objections, or gives the opportunity for objections. When you make your prospect think like, is this for me or not? You're already losing, essentially. So, jump forward. Let's say that your website, you do get that person in for a consultation. In the consultation, present, like you make it through the consultation. You should have a pretty straightforward process for that.
If you don't, we have that in the show notes.
Yeah.
You can
profit
jump
closing
profit closing method.
But then like when you go to present pricing,
mm-hmm.
I mean, how many options do you have? Obviously, we if anybody's listening to this, been listening for a while, A/B pricing, that's it. We have unlimited training.
Yep.
And you have an open or an annual. Those are the two options to choose from. We sell everybody the annual out of the gate. They have a 2-week guarantee. They can change it at the end of 2 weeks. But the reason for that is like we're saying, hey, there's two options. My brain, my caveman brain, can comprehend like two options without thinking too much. And oh, by the way that you start is this one here. So now we're even eliminating that other one, but they know that there's an opportunity.
Yeah.
So if somebody is like, I don't know that I want to do an annual, it's like, well, you're signing up for a 2-week, trial. We can switch this to the open at the end. So there's still that option in the back of their head, but there's not 10 different prices or membership options or those, types of things that they have to choose from. we can do like a part 2 of this. We could talk about from the staff side,
Yeah.
what that does for being able to, from a sales component and all, all the different pieces. But from a client facing side, it's like, I don't have to think.
And I use the analogy all the time of sitting down at Cheesecake Factory, right? There's
Oh,
300.
It's going to take me a long time to make it through that menu.
Well, yeah, exactly, right? I mean, but at the same time, you might walk in with a predetermined idea of what you want, and then you see 300 options. And like you said, that caveman brain starts going, and now I don't know what I want. Now I can't make a decision. And then the next thing you know, you order something that just kind of popped out last minute because you want to get an order in instead of
2
like
grilled chicken breasts and some steamed brockly.
But
bro, gains.
It's all decisions come down to 2 choices essentially. And the more that we convolute it with, the longer that process in decision making takes.
Right. So I mean, from a front end, like on your website, is it clear what you do and who you are and who you serve? And then they get to the consultation and it's, okay, here's the option to move forward and take the next steps. Or is it, I don't know who you are, what you do. I've got 20 different, I got to come in for a consultation to figure out even, what this looks like for me, what the program looks like. Okay, I have to leave here and go home and think about it. Then you sign a client up. And a lot of gyms, the experience, okay, look, you got to download this app. This is the app that we use for scheduling and billing. We need you to download this app. This is the app we use for communication. Then you got to get MyFitnessPal or this nutrition tracking once, download that app. And it's like, they have no idea how to communicate with you, where to go, what the steps are. You're asking them to download, 3-4 different ways to communicate with you or to do their program or whatever. Put yourself in that client's shoes, maybe not in the fitness or just in any business. That's not a good way to create a clear client experience for somebody. There's friction.
Sure.
So again, like simplicity, I would much rather, hey, this is the app, but download this app. You're going to use this app for scheduling and we'll text you. The client's already, you already have a phone. You don't have to download it, text you from this number. That's one of the reasons why, like for Semi-Private Pro, we created it here. We're like, we're not going to have a client-facing version of this. It's like you come in and the programming is up for you. You don't need to download another app or anything like that. Now, there's pros and cons to that, but the pro is like you show up and do your workout here, and you rely on us, and it's simple from the client standpoint. Let's see. I mean, what else? I know there's no like one size fits all software. There's no one app for everything, but at the same time, like you have to simplify this process for your clients. Membership, like limited memberships versus unlimited memberships.
There you go.
Unlimited, from the business standpoint, there's nothing I need to track.
Yep.
It's unlimited. Right? From the client standpoint, there's nothing I need to track. I don't get to the end of the month and ran out of my 8 sessions because the month fell weird. And now it's like, oh, in order for me to come 2 times a week, I got to pay for an extra session. And that creates a friction point in the business. Like there's no thought that has to go into doing business with you.
Yeah.
That's the point that I really want to try to make here from the client's point of view. It's like, man, this experience is just so streamlined that it really takes no cognitive part from me to be a customer here.
That's well said.
And if you guys look at just the nature of our business, it's not easy.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times clients, if you give clients a reason to cancel or an excuse to not do business with you, they will find it.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. They'll take it. Yeah.
They'll take it. So from a sales standpoint, when I'm teaching sales training, I always say that you never want your customer or prospective customer to say no subconsciously. There should never be any red flags. There should never be any friction points. Like everything whether they see it or don't see it, most of the time they're not going to see it, but subconsciously it's like everything is telling them like, this is the right decision for me to make. That should also transfer over into the actual, I'm a client of your business and I'm coming in doing business with you. And so from, you know, how you communicate with your clients to how they book training sessions to your policies and just, you know, how they do business with you, there should never be a subconscious no or a friction point. Everything should be smooth sailing. From a client experience standpoint, that's how simplicity scales.
I agree.
Right?
Yeah.
That's how you keep your clients. That's how you make it easy to attract them, to get them in the door and retain them. And, you know, we'll talk about this in the next episode, but like from a staff standpoint and an operational standpoint, same things apply. Like the simpler it is, the easier it is to have a sustainable business.
Yeah, very well said. And I think we paint the picture pretty well. I mean, taking somebody through the whole customer journey, right? It hits every aspect of it. You can make any single area of that business too complex. Nobody likes to jump through hoops. I mean, at the end of the day, they care about getting the result as easy as we can make it for them to do that, I think is the goal. I even the transition or the progression of this business, you know, I've seen it over the years, going from multiple deliveries to single focus. Different membership options to unlimited. You know, one of those things, and Tim and I have done a podcast on this it's probably 2 years ago, back in the old studio, where, you know, he's in the phase of, or this business is in the phase of optimization. And if I look at it, it's almost like the only thing we've done is taken away things that didn't serve the client, we didn't need to be doing because it didn't make their result any better. All it did was create those friction points. And so we've been able to identify that over the years and just continue to chip away or, you know, remove things, if you may, that just make that customer journey that much easier. Right.
Yeah.
So, take that for today. Look at your business, look at it from a client standpoint, you know, put yourself in their shoes, go through that journey that they're going through and see if there are things that you're doing just because you've done them that way, as opposed to there's intentionality around it. There's a reason for it. If something needs to happen, it might need to be in the business, but if it doesn't, chances are you're just doing it because it's the way you've done it before or previously. So, that's all we've got for this episode. Join us on the next one. We'll dive into more of the staff and the operational side and how complexity could be, you know, limiting your growth there. But that's all we've got for this episode. Keep changing lives. See you in the next show.